Hello, this is Fran Smitherman from Creative Life Scrapbooking to share with you an idea that I created today for our featured Project Friday, and that was to create an envelope to show off some memorabilia that I had found from a box of letters that I had received from my grandmother in college. So I obviously cannot put every single letter or every piece of memorabilia in a scrapbook, but I do think that when you add a few of them to your layouts with photos and journaling, it really can sort of enhance the page that you're creating and bring you back to a moment in time. So this is the box of letters. I can't do everything. You can't do anything with all of them, but certainly can show off a few. So if you haven't had the chance to go to the Creative Life Scrapbooking Facebook page, the layout is there today, March 15th. And also, just like all of our other layouts, if you go to our website, you can get a downloadable handout with instructions on how to create it, or if you're an advisor, how to teach it. But I'm going to talk a little bit about other ways to display memorabilia today. And if you are familiar with the Creative Memories product line, you may already know this, but these are three of my very favorite tools to create pages to show off memorabilia. One of them is the Archiver's photo corners. They come with a ton of photo mounting corners. There's 120 of the large ones and 140 of the medium ones, and I use them all the time. I use them for 8x10 group photos, class photos, etc. That, maybe I don't want to pin it down. Maybe I want to be able to pull it out again. So for those, I would use these larger corners. They're adhesive and you just slide them on. And maybe brochures or things like that. And then if there's smaller photos that I want to lay down, but I want to be able to pull up again, maybe to get digitized or to share with somebody else, or maybe there's something special on the back. These are the smaller ones, and these sort of remind me of the adhesives that my mother used in the 70s and the 80s to put our photos down. So having a hard time grabbing it right now, but they are adhesive and they are just little corners that you can use to peel off and stick your photos down. So if you don't keep these in your scrapbook room arsenal, I would definitely recommend it. One of the favorite things about being one of my favorite things about being an advisor is the fact that I have all of this at my fingertips because I keep a lot in stock. But even if you are not an advisor, I say keep one or two of these around because they will always come in handy. You might have a coin or something special commemorative, something you don't necessarily want to use a tape runner for, but these are great. Another favorite of mine are the 8.5 by 11 single pocket pages. They come 12 to a pack. And the great thing to me is they're good for certificates or small artwork, things like that. But the way that CM has manufactured them is that the hinges actually work in a 12 by 12 book. And I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So I often just incorporate them into a regular 12 by 12 album, just kind of sporadically as I need them. So the 8.5 by 11 single pocket pages are another secret to my success in saving and displaying memorabilia in my traditional scrapbooks. And of course, the top loading sleeves, the 12 by 12 pocket pages, these are a favorite of mine. They are so versatile. If you make digital page prints, or if you like to do project recipes, if you like to, create pages in advance and not necessarily know where they're going to go, these give you the option to just slide them in wherever. But they are also like great big envelopes that you can use to put memorabilia in as well. So I love all three of these. I'm going to show you just a couple examples of how I've used them in my scrapbook. This scrapbook right here is from 2022. I scrapbook a lot. It is from May to December. It's a very big book. So obviously have a lot of stories to tell, but let me show you a couple of examples of how I've used them. So when my son went to summer camp, he received some letters from us, and he also had a packing list. And so I've put those in here and just incorporated it right in this segment of the scrapbook devoted to his trip to camp, including the hornworm cake that my other son and I surprised him with. He loves worms and insects and bugs. So all of this is related to the camping trip. And I love that instead of just putting these little envelopes, these little cards in a box somewhere, they're right here with the story. Another example of a time that I use these 8.5 by 11s is some Disney layout pages. We went to Animal Kingdom, and part of Animal Kingdom is a place in the back where you get to go and draw. So I took photographs of the art that my oldest son and I did and put them into smaller versions and put them in here along with wristbands from the Halloween party, brochures from Animal Kingdom, and then a few more things here. So I just think it's great that you can just work these 8.5 by 11 hinged protectors into your book right along with the rest of your scrapbook pages. So if you have not thought about incorporating memorabilia, of course, check out my layout from today, the envelope, but also maybe think about getting some of these wonderful products that Creative Memories has for us. Of course, it's all photo safe, and they're all meant to work in the 12 by 12 album. So I hope that is helpful to you, and thank you for following Creative Life Scrapbooking.